What's going on, everybody? Liam O'Reilly, Vermont Economic Realtor. Hope you're doing well. Talking today about the Vermont housing market, why there's such a lack of supply. We're going to specifically go over a article written by a professor out of Middlebury College. He's a professor of economics and politics at Middlebury, and he does a great job explaining and breaking down why there's such a lack of supply here in Vermont, especially compared to other metros. I know there's a lot of people who watch this channel from other counties and other parts across the country. And I think there's things that you can gain from this video that will be informative to you. But this is really focused on what's going on here in Vermont and why the inventory is so tight, and what that means for you as a home buyer who's competing in this market. I guess really an explanation for why things have been so tough if you are experiencing a massive increase in rents, or if you're having a hard time purchasing a property here. You'll have some insight into that. And then same thing if you're a seller. Maybe if you're a seller looking to downsize at the end of your tenure at your primary home where your kids grew up in, and now you want to downsize, why it's so difficult to do that here in Vermont, and really just some of the main aspects into the Vermont housing market. So let's get right into it. Here's the article, How Vermont's Housing Crisis Got So Bad by Gary Winslett. Again, professor out of Middlebury College. So I'm going to just kind of briefly go through this. We might turn this into a series, but for this first video, I'm going to go over a few key points. So the problem touches everything. Obviously, I transact in residential real estate. I don't do rentals. I'm just involved in buying and selling real estate. But the rental market here around Burlington has been crazy. They talk about how the one-bedroom rental in Burlington ranks 6th most expensive out of 119 small metros. Only Atlantic City, New Jersey, and 4 small metros in California are worse. One-bedroom rents in Burlington are $13.45 a month. And this was written February 14th, so less than 2 weeks ago. And, $13.45, that might be the median rent. Sorry about that. But that is not what, that's $13.45 for a one-bedroom around Burlington is a great deal. Look at this. So here are some new developments going up, built by SD Island. You can find this right on their website here. So this is Colchester, Vermont, which is a town just outside of Burlington, if you're not familiar with the area. This is brand new construction, so it's a new build. But you can see here, $2,100 for an 850 square foot, one bed, one bath apartment. Now, it does include heat, hot water, water sewage, trash, stuff like that. There's laundry in unit. I'm sure these are nice units. They're brand new. But $2,100 for a one bedroom, it's just a lot. So I wanted to bring that up because he mentions $13.45 here as the median. But if you're going to find a decent apartment for rent around the Burlington area for $13.45, it's just not out there. Really, it's starting at $1,600, I would say, for a one bedroom, if not more. This median number is skewed because there's a lot of landlords around here who just haven't raised rent in a while, or maybe they don't take that good a care of their property. So you might get something under the median rent, but it's in pretty rough condition. So just kind of breezing through here, I wanted to point out this as well. So he did a search for 3-bedroom homes. Why is it? Just go to Zillow when you click on it. Sorry about that, guys. 3-bedroom homes, single-family houses, apartments, townhomes, condos, available for $400,000 or less around Billings, Montana, Boise, Idaho, southern New Hampshire, Raleigh, North Carolina, Salt Lake City, and Burlington, Vermont. And so take a look at so this is just a search that he did, it looks like on his iPhone here. So Boise, see the homes for sale there. Concord, New Hampshire, this is the area that I grew up in, Concord, Manchester, Nashua, Billings, it looks like, Raleigh, Salt Lake City, and there's Burlington. So this is the greater Burlington area here, and these are single-family homes, condos, townhomes that are 3 bedrooms or more, listed for under $400,000 in the area. There's just no inventory. So what is causing this lack of inventory? I'm going to leave a link. I'm going to just talk to the camera here and leave a link in the description so you folks can go through this. But he really dives deep into what is causing this lack of inventory. And a big part of it is Vermont, Vermonters don't like change. Once people get here, once they get their home, they get their idyllic Vermont property, they don't want to see that changed, and they don't want to see suburbs pop up everywhere, which is understandable. But that's the reason why developers in a lot of these towns can't bring a ton of supply to the market, is because the people in these towns who live there already and who own property already don't want to see suburbs pop up here and there. And as a result, what it's doing is it's making housing on the rental side and the buy side much more expensive. So because we can't bring a ton of new supply to the market and meet the demand that is here, the only option is to use what's already existing for the most part. And what's already existing is not enough. I'm going to go back to the article here and just look at this one quick chart that talks about all right, so here's the housing growth. Average annual growth of Vermont's year-round housing stock decreases. So that rate at which we're adding homes to the market here in Vermont is going down. It was at 1.6% in 1980 and 1990. 2010s to 2020, we probably have a pretty good idea of what that's going to be. 0.22%. We're hardly adding any homes to the market. That's not the chart that I wanted to show you guys, though. So this is what I wanted to show you. Units permitted per 1,000 residents per year. And the orange line here is San Francisco. The blue line is Burlington. So we're building less homes than what is, historically known as one of the toughest cities to bring new inventory to the market. As San Francisco, Burlington is well under the San Francisco numbers as far as new housing. And then here's just another comparison for Burlington, South Burlington compared to other comparable cities. You can see it's just well under. And then you look at the towns around Burlington, units permitted per 1,000 residents per year in other towns. So this is Hinesburg, Shelburne, Charlotte, Richmond, Middlebury, Colchester, Essex Junction, just a general subset of towns around Vermont. There's almost no permits being issued in these towns. So there's not any new supply in the market, which is why I've been so adamant on this channel that there's not going to be a huge supply increase here in Vermont that that's going to cause prices to come down drastically, because we're not adding a lot of supply to the market and there's way more demand than there are existing homes here in this state. So it's just going to be extremely difficult for the bottom to drop out in the Burlington housing market. So why is there no supply in the market? The reasons that he brings up, there's a handful of reasons, but one of them is Act 250. So Act 250 is something that you have to go through if you are adding a development of 10 or more units here in the state of Vermont, anywhere in the state. And basically, if you're adding 10 or more units in a development at one time, you have to go in front of a board of people and citizens who can veto and delay the process for any reason. And basically, it makes it very, very difficult to get new housing projects approved. And the thing is that a lot of the people that are in these meetings and that are on these boards, Vermont doesn't pay that much for their local boards to be on the board. So a lot of the people that are on these boards are people who are retired, people who have made their money, who own their home and don't want to see any change. It's not the people who are renting and who are out there searching for a property. A lot of the people that are renting are the people that are working, spending long days working, and then at the end of the day, they're coming home, they're relaxing. Maybe they have a young family that they're taking care of. They're busy. Where a lot of people that are going to the boards and are rejecting these housing proposals, development proposals, are people who are older, retired, owned homes, and don't want to see their neighborhoods change. And that's kind of that seems to be one of the main reasons as to one of the main things stopping development here in Vermont, which is great for keeping Vermont the same, but it's driving young people out of the state. Vermont is dead last for college graduates staying in state after they graduate. I mean, there's not enough jobs here. There's not enough housing for the people to live. I mean, it makes it more difficult for construction companies to find cheap labor if there's not cheap housing for them to put their employees in. And then there's also something called Act 60, which is involved with Vermont school taxes, which we're the only state that taxes for education don't go directly to the town. They go to the state and then get distributed to the towns equally, from what I understand. I should read more into that, but basically it goes to the state and then gets distributed, I believe, equally amongst the cities. So if you add a new development in Vermont, you don't necessarily get the school tax revenue or the ability to expand your school, to hire the teachers, to expand the classrooms, to update the school as you would need to with this new population coming in. So it makes it very difficult for municipalities to expand. Just another barrier adding to what's going on here. Now, he has a handful of solutions, that talked about getting around Act 50 or maybe mandating uh, unit growth or housing growth in these cities to keep the population rising, and to keep, really the goal is to keep things affordable for people who want to live here, and to help the people who need help, to help the renters, to help the first-time home buyers, to at least provide options for them. We don't want to ruin Vermont and not make Vermont what it is, but we want people to be able to afford to live here and not just have it be a vacation capital, or where you can eventually retire to if you make enough money and can afford to. I don't think that's what Vermont stands for as a retirement state for the rich, or a vacation state. I think it should be for everyone, and we need to make housing and set policies that are inclusive to even to those who are less fortunate, to those first-time home buyers, to those renters. We need to make sure that that their needs are being taken care of. Anyway, I hope you guys got something from this video. I hope you learned a little bit about the Vermont housing market. And if you're not in Vermont, I hope this helps you. I hope there's something you can take from this video that you can translate to your market that you're in. All my contact information is listed below. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, feel free to reach out to me directly. If you'd like a copy of this article, feel free to reach out to me directly. I'll leave a link to the paid version below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this housing supply. Let me know what you think about the issues here in Vermont. If there's any issues in your local market that you'd like to talk about, leave it down in the description. Other than that, my name's Liam. I'll see you guys in the next video.